Technology is killing our memories. We're going to talk about it on today's podcast. Hi, my name is Michael Johnson. I'm a ballroom dance professional, a life coach, and a peak performance expert. I'm part of a group of motivated people who are dedicated to attaining emotional mastery and unlocking our full potential. We've realized life is a dance. The ups and downs can spin you out of your mind, but it's time to take back control. It's time to become a lifer. We don't believe others are responsible for how we feel. In fact, we don't believe anyone can make us feel anything. We are a new breed of overachievers. Emotional mastery is our journey, and unlocking our full potential is the key. Welcome to the journey. We are lifers, and this is Magic for Life. What's up, lifers? Michael Johnson here with the Magic for Life podcast. I'm so glad you joined me here today, and hope you're having a wonderful holiday. It's been a couple days since the famous and wonderful Christmas time. I hope you had a great day, and I hope you have some wonderful memories that you can take with you as you go on in your journey. And I wanted to talk a little bit about memory today. You know, back when I was young, I used to have just a ton of phone numbers remembered in my mind. In fact, I remember that, learning the phone number was like a cool thing to do when you were grown up. You remembered everybody's phone number. You remembered your best friend's phone number, and you had that committed to memory. You had your parents' phone number, your grandparents' phone number, all the important numbers that you had in your head. And they set up the phone numbers in such a way that they were easy to memorize. So you had the area code, which back then didn't really matter as much because the world wasn't as small. And so you really just needed to remember the 7 digits. So the 3 digits and the 4 digits. And they were set up in split like that because it's easier to remember in 3 and then in 4. So, I could rattle off I can still remember my grandparents' old phone number, 247-8782. I know, right? Crazy. You can call it. There's nobody there at that number anymore. Actually, please don't call it. I don't know whose number it is now. But, truthfully, we remembered everybody's phone number. And I remember how cool it was. You got your friend's your best friend's number, and that was committed to memory. And we didn't have cell phones. I know some of my younger dancers that I've worked with probably think that's crazy. We didn't have anything to have a phone book. It was always cool if you had your little black book, or if you carried a little phone book around, because you could write in a number that you got from a girl or something. But if you memorized her number, that was even cooler, right? And if she was your girl, you'd memorize her number for sure, because you were probably calling the number way too much. And that's the thing, I remember that we had to memorize those phone numbers and all sorts of other things. Obviously we had our social security number memorized and had it to heart, and maybe some people do that still these days, but it's getting less and less. And part of the reason is technology is kicking our butt when it comes to memory. And you can get your stuff all saved on your phone. You have to remember an appointment, you put it in on your calendar. You have to remember a phone number, you put it in your contacts. You want to be reminded to go eat lunch, and you put it in as a little reminder on your phone so that you don't forget to eat that day. That's crazy, right? Like, we are using technology for so many things. And in many instances, it's a cool luxury and it's really great. But in so many other instances, it's not. And here's what I'm talking about. I always talk about emotions. I talk about them being tools for us. And one of the things that happens a lot is people say, well, I don't have any vision of that. I can't see that. Or I don't have any, I don't remember a time when. And they love taking pictures. Everybody loves taking pictures on their phones, right? Right, because you want to remember that time. But the picture isn't going to do it. The picture is just one thing. And that's great. And it helps us remember. But you got to spend some time applying it to your memory, right? So if you had Christmas, so I want to take a couple days ago was Christmas. So let's think about it for a second. And I gave you, if you listened to the podcast that day, I gave you a little assignment that day to really take in what was going on and feel the joy of the day and remember it for later, for future times. And today I want you to think about that same memory that you thought about a few days ago and try to bring it clear. So for just a second, right now, just bring it really clear in your mind. What did you hear? What were you seeing? What was your experience that day? And just imagine what that feeling felt like. It was only a couple days ago. You should be able to remember it. And if you didn't do it that day, that's okay. Do it now. Remember something about that day that you can feel joyful about. Or remember anything about the day. What can you recall? What can you bring into your memory and try to commit it? Because, you might have a picture, but did you record the sounds for that day? Maybe. I don't know. Did you record the feeling for that day? Well, gosh, we haven't gotten a piece of technology yet that will record the feeling for that day. Well, we try, right? We video it, and we hope that the video will bring back the feeling. And if you're like so many people out there, you take pictures, you take videos, and they go in your phone, maybe they get transferred to your computer, and then you don't watch them ever again. Or maybe you do. Maybe you go back and spend time doing it. But listen, you can commit these things to memory. Your memory is so much stronger than you maybe realize, and especially nowadays, it's easy to believe that we have bad memories. No, we just don't practice them very much. And there's some great memory programs out there to help you learn to memorize better. But, back in the old days, let's go back to the days of ancient Egyptians. They had methods and processes of learning to memorize because writing something down was not reliable. And so their memories had to be reliable. And we have to think about that. Even with the onset of all this amazing technology, what if we lose our ability to utilize our memory? Well, our memory is such a valuable asset because it can remind us of rough times and lessons that we've learned. It can remind us of beautiful things that we've experienced, and we can experience those again. We don't have to be there. And that's the beautiful thing about our mind, is that we can bring up these feelings and emotions and we can feel them anytime we want and experience them anytime we want. We don't have to wait to watch a video or listen to a song. Now, those things help, don't get me wrong, but they're all stashed away in your memory. So take a moment, remember Christmas Day. Think of something that you loved, that you experienced that day, and something you want to remember. And think about it now and feel it right now. And let's take it with us so that we have it for years to come. Using your memory is so important. And although technology can be help, let's not get too carried away and think that technology will be the memory. No, the videos aren't the memory. You still have to go in and remember the experience and the feeling, even if you saw the video. And in many instances, sometimes you see a video and you remember what you were thinking and feeling anyway, and it wasn't what was going on the outside. So practice that today. Go back, remember some really great experience that you had from your Christmas day, and bring it full into your memory and enjoy that experience. We'll see you on the next podcast. Take care. Hey, Lifers, don't forget to get your free copy of the Every Minute book. You can find it at everyminutebook.com. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram.